Hey, what's up guys? It's Marvin Martian here. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys the hardest checkmate in the game, the Knight Bishop Checkmate. It's something you'll probably never need to know, but it's better to know it and not need it than to need it and not know it. There's three main steps to this. The first is to get control of the center of the board, as I've already done here. It's not difficult to do, just gather your pieces in the middle to prevent him from moving there. The second is going to be to progressively push him to the edge using all of your pieces. It doesn't matter which edge you push him to or where on the edge it is, as long as you confine him to the edge. And the third step is going to be to push him into whatever corner your bishop is colored. So right now my bishop is on a white square, so he's going to have to be checkmated in one of these two white corners. Keep in mind you only have 50 moves to do this, so you never want to let the king escape. You want to keep him suppressed in his movements. You don't want to give him too much leeway. And you want to use all your pieces. They work quite well together. Use your bishop for long diagonals, and use your knight to cover, in this case, the green squares the bishop can't cover, and use your king to block close movements. The king's very helpful for pushing to the edge, as you'll see here. So I lead with my king, and I block his retreat, and he's already forced to the second row from the edge, and I use my king to block his retreat again, and he can't go up, and he doesn't want to go to the edge yet, so he's going to jump down. My knight's over here doing nothing, so I bring him over to the action, and most people are going to want to try to avoid the white corner, so he's going to try to head towards the green corner, and I use my bishop to force him to the edge already. An important thing to keep in mind is to try to keep your pieces in a position where they can prevent an escape. Like right here, my bishop's blocking this square, but this is unprotected, so he can escape, or potentially escape this way. So my knight's in a position where he can jump to here to block it, which will be needed in a second. I use my king to keep him confined to the edge. He comes down, and my knight's right there to block the escape. So he has to go up, and I use my bishop to block his retreat again, and now I can bring my knight into the action again. There's a position you have to have your pieces in before you can perform the checkmate, and you'll see it here in a second. So right now he's pretty confined to the edge. I use my knight to block him from running to the left, and he can only go back between two spaces right now. A couple of wasted moves. And right now I'm setting up to get my knight in position for the checkmate. He tries to run out, I check him, and he can't go anywhere else. I check him again, he can't go anywhere else. And this is the position you want to be in. You want to have your knight in front of your king, their king in front of the knight on the edge, and you want to have your bishop blocking the diagonal behind him. And you never want to bring your bishop in for the check. Obviously, well, in this case, it's obvious. But you come in behind him to block his retreat, and you always wait for him to move before you move your knight. And after he moves to the left, you move your knight back. And there's two scenarios. There's two ways he can move. He can move to the right, or he can move to the left. Both are easy to block. It's a pattern for either one. Most people are going to move to the left. So in that case, you bring your king over, and he's going to jump out of this green square, and you bring your knight over next to the king, and notice my knight's blocking these two green squares right here, and my king's blocking these two right here. So his only escape is going to be to go to this white, and then go to this other white diagonal. So he's going to go there, and simple block, just move your bishop down there. Now he can only really retreat, and then you block his previous movement, and he's back on the edge. Now you reset your position, he tries to come out, you check him, and back to start. Now do a waiting move because you don't want to make your move until he does. He's going to come out here, you move the knight again, and the other way they can move is to the right, which is a much quicker way to counter. All you do is move your knight over to check him, he moves his king, protect with yours, he can't move anywhere else, and back in the same position again, check him. Now if you'll notice, he's already confined to these two places, my king's covering these three, and my bishop's blocking his escape. So my knight's useless at this point, I can already go ahead and set up for the checkmate. Notice if I move here now, it's a stalemate, and that's very important. I've actually done that a couple times. It's pretty embarrassing. So do a waiting move, comes here, check, and checkmate. It's really not that difficult if you cannot let him escape. But if at any time he escapes, it's difficult to regain your composure before a stalemate. Um, just practice keeping him on the side and getting your pieces set up for that checkmate. If you enjoyed this, like it, and I'll have more videos out soon. Thanks.